Going today, guys? Trucks and Water here. In today's video, as you can see, we are at a kind of like a construction site. This is going to be a new subdivision, and so sorry about the wind noise too, by the way. But anyways, right now we're going to go over my 3.5-inch coilover kit from Rough Country, and I'm running 33-inch Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws on this truck. I think it's kind of a fitting theme, I guess you can say. Dirt kind of flexed out a little bit on them haters, and yeah, but we're gonna go over the good, the bad, and all that stuff. Now I've have about right around 40 something, give or take, 1,000 miles on this lift kit, so I have pretty good experience with this lift kit and what it's for, what it's not for, and why you should or shouldn't buy it. So we'll be going over that in this video. So we're gonna start with the good is these coilover shocks. As you can see, here are the front ones right here with the reservoirs, how they connect going down from the top down to the lower control arm. And here are the rear ones right here with the reservoir and how they connect going down to the rear axle right there, as you can see. These shocks are absolutely fantastic. They have great rebound, stuff like that. When you first get them on your truck, there's a 500-mile break-in period on this truck. So whatever setting they come in on the box, out of the box, leave it on that setting for 500 miles so the shocks can fully break in, and the reservoir can, they basically got like valves in the reservoir. Those can fully break in, and then you're good to go. Then you can adjust it. So how do you adjust them? Is by this knob right here. Now the arrow's right here and you can hear it click. So you just turn it, click, click. Right now they have 1 through 8 adjustability, 1 being the softest and 8 being the firmest. I run on all 4 corners on the back and the front up there. I run level 2. That is the best I've found for daily driving situations. If I'm off-roading or something like that, I'll bump them up to 4. If I'm towing, which I have towed with this truck with the kit on it, I bump up the back to a 6 or an 8. I've only towed about 2,500 pounds is the heaviest I've towed with this lift kit on, which it did absolutely flawlessly. There's no weird bouncing, drifting, or anything of that nature. So you can tow with this kit, but you will lose 1,000 pounds towing capacity. So this truck went from 6,400 to 5,400, but that's a sacrifice you have to make if you want to go with this 3.5-inch kit. But these shocks, for the money with Rough Country, I highly recommend them if you want the adjustability and you can fine-tune it on how you want this truck to ride. Now, I had a buddy of mine that had an F-150. It was a 19 or 20 F-150 that he had the same shocks on a 6-inch kit, and he had those on 3, was the best for him with his truck. So it's a truck by truck basis on what you want, but man, these shocks ride so good. Now the truck is a little flexed out right now, so it's not a good best representation, but this is the perfect height for a daily driver. For the Tacomas, a level to this 3.5-inch kit on 33s is the perfect height. Anything higher than that, then you gotta worry about, or bigger tires, you gotta worry about re-gearing and all that other stuff to make it drivable, especially with these 6-speed automatic transmissions and these 3rd gens. But this is the best daily driving ride. You can off-road it, you can tow with it, cruise down the interstate, it rides very comfortably, you know, a whole 9 yards of that nature. I wouldn't recommend going anything above 3.5 on a daily driver setup. So this is the perfect mix of everything that you want in a daily driver. Now, the ease of maintenance on these kits is absolutely awesome. Rough Country makes, when you get this kit, you get the Rough Country upper control arm, which you pop this little cap right here, and it's got a greasable upper ball joint. You do it about every 3,000 miles or so. It makes it real easy on these Rough Country kits. And plus, these ball joints for the upper control arm are press in, press out ball joints. So for $100, you can get a set for both sides, one for here, one for over there on the passenger side, and they're press in, press out. Any shop can do it, where you got your lift kit installed can do it, or you can do it if you have the right tools. And you can service these very easily. I've already had these serviced. I got these done right before I went to the beach. So right about 40,000 miles, I put new ones on because the rubber around the boot from this harsh winter we've had with all the salt and snow and everything was starting to crack. I didn't want to risk it driving down to Florida, so I put new ones on. It was very cheap. My shop could easily do it. That is one of the major benefits with this kit, is the serviceability. And then you get the rough country warranty, which is absolutely awesome. On those shocks, the coilover, they have a 5-year warranty on the coilover shocks with this kit. Now the other shocks in the kit, the lower tier ones, I think it's a 3-year warranty. So if anything goes wrong, which we'll get to later in this video, with these shocks or components, depending on what it is, it can be between a 3-year to an unlimited warranty with their kit, and they honor it. As long as you don't try to pull a fast one on them, they will honor their warranty, no questions asked, and have it shipped out to your door or to the shop that you choose to ship it out to. Now we're gonna go over the bad part about this lift kit. And there's a few things I want to go over. I love the lift kit overall, don't get me wrong, but there is some bad. So first off, the lower bushing on this shock right here, on this driver's side shock, the one that connects to your lower control arm, went bad on me right after I got back from vacation back in June, causing a horrible squeaking noise. So the bushing inside here where the bolt runs through went bad, causing a horrible squeaking noise. Granted, I contacted Rough Country and they were freaking awesome. They sent me out a brand new coilover shock, no questions asked. It was under warranty, and my shop that I've got put the lift kit installed it, no problems, no questions asked. But I did have that issue where it didn't affect the performance. There's no weird vibrations or anything of that nature. It's just a very awful squeaking sound when it flexed or turned or whatever the case might be. Another issue we have while installing this kit is the front diff drop that drops your front diff down right here for your CV axles and all that. The front diff drop from Rough Country was not big enough. My CV axles were at a really bad angle and we didn't really realize it until this passenger side one right here shredded a boot right there, and we had to replace the axle, which really was not fun. We figured out that the diff drop from Rough Country was not big enough to drop it down to get the correct angles we needed. Now, I don't know if Rough Country messed up when packaging the kit, or they don't realize it's not big enough. I had to go the Toyota Tech picture be popping up right here of their diff drop to get it right, to where I can get the CV axles, the angles on the CV axles correct. And ever since then, we've not had a problem. Another thing with this kit is it doesn't come, picture be popping up right here, the coilover adjustment key. So the coilovers right here have a collar, as you can see right here, and you can actually adjust how much the spring pushes down. You can raise the truck up by moving this collar down and actually get a bigger lift kit. But the problem was, on top of the diff drop, was that we had this adjusted too much down. We actually was sitting too high, almost not like a Carolina squat, but kind of something similar to it. And I didn't realize I had to have the key to loosen this up for the shop, to loosen this up, loosen the collar, and bring this up to the correct right. I had to have this level at 3.5. It's a $20 part or so. Make sure you buy it when you get this kit. It will save you a lot of headache in the long run, and learn from my mistake. So the key is very vital for this kit, and I don't understand why they doesn't come with the kit. So other than that, what is this kit for? Like, if you're gonna buy this kit, what is this kit for? So is this kit for to go on a dirt road like this, or even worse than this? So you can see right here, like this is gonna be a subdivision, but worse than this, and go 100 miles an hour, going through whoops and chops and jumps and stuff like that? No, it's not made for that. Is it for, if that, say that was a rock wall, for extreme rock crawling like you see at Windrock or other places like in Moab and stuff like that? Is it for something like that? No, it is not. Is it for extreme overlanding where you're doing a mix of everything for days and weeks on end? No, it's not made for that. So what is this kit made for? This kit is made for your daily driver that wants to have off-road capability and wants to be able to tow and stuff like that on top of it. You can do off-road in this kit. I'm not saying you can't, but do mild trails. Don't do anything extreme. That's not what this kit is designed to do. It's designed to be better, though, than their stock kit because of the coilover shocks and everything of that nature, but it's not designed to be a hardcore extreme off-roader. For a daily driver that wants to still be able to tow and do some mild off-roading slash overlanding, this is the kit for you. If you want to do extreme stuff, you need to upgrade to a Fox, a King, Old Man Emu, you know, stuff like of that nature where it's for extreme off-road scenarios and stuff like that. Other than that, guys, with this kit and the 33s that I have with the Falcons, I do rub at full lock right here, barely on the inner fender well, right in here. You can barely tell it does it, but I don't have any spacers on this truck or anything of that nature, but it does rub a little bit at full lock, especially if I'm flexed out a little bit or something like that. But other than that, it doesn't rub, but this kit is absolutely fantastic. It helped me out this winter when we had a freak snowstorm that dumped almost a foot of snow in Knoxville and more in other places, where I was one of the only trucks driving around, plowing through the snow to be able to get to places and whatnot. I mean, it was so deep, I was dragging, my recovery shackles right here was dragging through the snow. But this kit with the 33s really helped out. Comfortable riding. It's a great interstate cruiser. I can cruise 70, 75 down the interstate all day long. Like I said, I took this one to Florida over my company truck, and it cruised fantastic going down the interstate at 75 miles an hour through Florida and stuff like that. Very, very comfortable kit. And it's an all-around good overall kit, like I said, for mild off-roading, daily driving, and towing. So if you're in the market to lift your truck about 3.5 inches, I highly recommend this kit. If you're doing extreme off-roading and overlanding, don't get this kit. Get, like I said, a Fox, a King, an Old Man Emu, something along that nature. If you also have any questions, please comment them down below. I'll try to get to them as fast as I can, or DM me on Instagram at Trucks and Water, or on TikTok at Trucks and Water. I usually respond faster on them than I do the comments. Other than that, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this informational video. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Join the Trucks and Water family. We're constantly growing, changing, trying new and better things. I hope you all have a great day, and remember, never give up on your dreams.